Question Pro right now. Is anybody using Question Pro right now?
No.
I use
I
it.
should
Nope.
be using it. Not yet.
Oh, okay, great. What I'll do here today is I'm going to show you, um, from the survey analytics standpoint, what we've done with the Adecco account. Basically, what we're doing is we're moving you guys over to survey analytics, which is our enterprise platform. And I'm muting everybody here, by the way, so you can hear me better. And what we're doing is we're giving you a higher level of service. So in that, that means that you'll be able to access a dedicated account manager, which is myself, and you'll be able to, call and or email me with any questions that you have regarding your surveys that go out. So with Adecco, you guys have an unlimited license. So you can have as many users as you like, and you'll have someone who knows you and knows your account. So there's no need to get stuck in a Question Pro key or anything. So you've got a higher service level agreement this time through, which is great. And with that, it comes with the custom training, which is what we're doing today. And I believe I am recording this, so I'll send a copy over to Helena, in which she can distribute to other people who may have missed this, or you can go back to this later and learn a little bit more about our tool. So kind of get started, what you want to do is I'm going to show you just the basics today in terms of how to, build a survey from scratch, how to access those tools, what can you do to deploy your surveys, what are the options that you have available with Survey Analytics, and then we're going to look at the reporting side of it all in terms of what can you get, how can you access the download the data, etc., and so forth. So it's going to be a very general overview overall. So I expect that it'll probably be about, going all over those things will be about 35 minutes altogether. And then, with questions, we can open it up for another 10 minutes or so. So what you want to do is you'll get started here. You'll sign in to Survey Analytics. And to kind of get used to this account, you'll see that we have here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different panels that you can, or tabs that you'll be using to create your surveys, to look at reports. You'll see that you have your email on the right hand corner here. And this is basically a user profile. You'll be able to, as the administrator, Helena, she'll be able to add more accounts here and all this stuff and manage permissions for you guys. So anytime you need another account, or you have someone else in your company needs some information, then Helena would actually be the one that can help set a lot of this up. And then of course, if she's not available, you can always contact me. I'll be more than happy to open up accounts for other people at Adecco as well. So just to get started here, we're going to just show you how to build a survey from scratch. You want to make sure that you're on the Surveys tab on the left hand corner here, and you'll see that I've got tons of different folders. You want to make sure that if you are looking to share a survey among the team and work together, you want to make sure that you've added a folder. Anything that's in your main and default folder, that I have above here, no one can see it, and you can't share that with anybody. But if you are looking to share among the group, then you would need to add a folder. So go ahead and click on add a folder and create a name. So what I'll do, I just created one here actually, and then you can move your surveys as needed. So that is how you would create a folder. And then to get started with creating a survey, it's a very simple step. You just want to click on create a new survey. and then you'll be prompted with three different options. The first option is to look at a survey template, use that, and then you can and the type of templates that we have include, customer satisfaction, rating, product rating, and all sorts of different things. So you can use that and then also modify as needed. Or you can do a survey from scratch, which is a wizard-based survey creation tool. Or if you have a survey that's on a Word document, then you can import a Word document and then continue with it, and we will show you how you need to format your survey in order for it to capture. For this instance, we're just going to show you how to create a survey from scratch. So you want to click on continue and give it a name. So I'm just going to give it test 20. And then you can specify what folder you want to put it in. So I'll just put it in here for now. Click on next. The next option here is layouts. So if you don't have to pick out a layout now, but you can go through a couple of these and decide which one you like, in the interim. So if you want to go with that one, you can. The next one is either connecting to social media. And what this does here is it'll connect to your Facebook fans. It'll capture Facebook information if they're sharing it with you. However, if you keep it blank, it won't do that. But if you want to, you can just check on that one. But I'm going to keep that blank for now. And so it's not going to automatically connect to uh, Facebook after you're done, and then click on finish. So this is basically a blank template in which you can get started on building your survey. And to start, you just want to add your question types. And your question types are available and sectioned off by standard question types, advanced, add-on, and survey. Library and survey here. So just to open this up, and I'll show you, what we have. We have, your standard multiple choice questions, open-ended text, matrix table. Um, they also include the presentation and heading for formatting in your survey, and some miscellaneous things like rank order, date, time, etc., and so forth. And if you want to view a sample of each one of these templates before you select, you can. So say for instance you want to look at what multiple choice select 1 is, you can click on view a sample and see whether or not this is the question that you'd like. Other things you can do is you can also open up some advanced question types. So you're looking at matrix table, side-by-side matrix. We also include additional logic, and I'll show you some other places to um, access logic. What logic is basically allowing your survey to think for you. It becomes an intellectual survey, and you can branch out certain people answering questions a certain way, and so on and so forth. But this one is just allowing you to do certain things like randomize questions in your survey, or add some sort of scoring engine to your survey as well. You also see that we have data reference points like a lookup table or a validated data reference. And then you can also do other things like upload or attach a file, or add a net promoter score for customer satisfaction. The other tools that we have, and these are very specific with the advanced tools that we have on survey analytics. We do conjoint analysis and conjoint models such as MaxDiff and discrete choice conjoint analysis. And if you're interested in doing any image or multimedia type studies, we do have image chooser, ranker, rating, etc. And we also have a two-post style testing or video rating that you can include. And then some other customer satisfaction custom models that we have include the CSI, ASC index, and then some additional things below. So we've got complex grid, panel recruitment, and all sorts of different things. The last thing we have here, I just wanted to show you, is the library or libraries or survey questions. The library you'll have is for each person, and what you can do is you can copy over questions from your survey into your library that you know you're going to use more than once, and it'll save you a lot of time if you're going to be using similar questions over and over. This is my question library here of all the questions that I have copied over, and in addition to that, I could also access questions from my survey. So even if I didn't use the questions I copied over, I can access question types from previous surveys and then continue on and add it to my list. So that's a tool that I would recommend using. You know, once you guys get used to the tool, this will, you know, the library will help save you a lot of time. So I'm just going to click on this one and click on next just to show you approximately what the template itself looks like. And so this is what the template is looking like. So you want to add the question text, and answers are generally one per line here. And then you can save your question, so you'll be able to see it in our edit survey button here. So this is what it looks like, and now you'll see that we have um, a lot other tools that we can work with. So what you'll see here now that we have a publish link that you can automatically copy and paste over into websites and or emails. You now can add a header of any type, an intro, you can add an introduction and customize this as you need. So we have a intro here that we just put in, so and I'm just going to fill this out so we'll have something to look at. And then all of our templates are HTML enabled, so that means that you can add pictures anywhere you want in your survey. So click on this here, or you can click here, and what you can do is you can upload a bunch of images like your company logo or images that you're using. So I have all sorts of different things here. So say for instance I want to include this. I just copy over and then go back to your survey. And it's very simple. You can just add and upload a picture or whatever and upload the file. It just has to be about under 1 MB for it to load. So that would include, you know, video, audio, images, etc. So let me just go back to what I had. And then I'm just going to click on edit my intro, and I'm going to include my HTML. And then I'm going to save my question so it'll add there. Other things that you can do, and I'll change that. So that's my picture now. And you can move this towards the bottom if you like take my survey and make it below. Other things that you can also do is to the right of your questions, you'll see a bunch of thumbnails. And from here, you can choose to click on Edit to edit your template. And then you can also access Delete. This is where you can copy over to your library or copy again in your survey. And then you can choose to click on this to reorder the questions in your survey. And then settings allows you to change the settings for your survey question itself. So this is where you would, if it's a question that you require someone to take, you want to click on validation. Nothing's automatically validated, so you need to validate them manually. And then if you want to randomize the questions in your survey, you can click on randomize answer options. And then you can also change the answer display, such as the radio buttons or drop down menu. And then the lines, if you want to do it vertical or if you want to do it horizontal, you can. So I'm going to change that. And then some other things you can do includes changing the display settings. Oops, I'm going to cancel that and save. So anytime you make changes, you want to click on save. And so I've changed that over. And other things you can do here is you can add tips, which allow people to add some information for your respondents to know how to answer your questions. Or you can add like an icon or a hyperlink, etc. And then let's see here. You can also include some additional analytics as well. So there's a lot of different things you can do under settings with the question alone. And then if you want to do just a preview of the question itself, this is what we've built. So you'll see, how this is what's going to look like to the respondent that's taking your survey. So I'm going to close this. And to other things that you can do below that is you can get rid of the separator between the two, or you can add page breaks in your survey here. You can also click here to add new questions, and then of course below you'll see an option to add a footer, which is great to add company logo or information, and then you also have the thank you page here. This is just a very quick thank you page that you can open up and customize, but we do have a better way to make it look nicer. So the next thing after you look at just the basics of how to build a survey, I wanted to go into display options with you, and this is where you can change the theme again. So if you want to customize it and make one like a survey customizable, like organization customizable survey link, you can. So you can upload and customize one as you need. You can make changes as you like if you decide you don't like that. So there's lots of different options. Other things that you can also do is you can change the font type, or also the font size and the survey width. And then you can also do some more below. So you can change the navigation toolbar and the done button to something else. And then if you're interested in doing the survey in different languages, this is where you would go to change that. So it always defaults in English, but if you want to default it to, say for instance Italian or Spanish or whatever, you can go in and change this. It doesn't automatically translate it, so you would need to automatically translate your survey. And also, with doing this, changing this, it would also change the validation, like the different messages. So, you would need to go in and manually change things like that says continue, or if it's a message like this would need to be changed as well. So I will actually send the help file, to those that might be interested a little bit more. So when you're doing multi-languages, you can add, and you can do more than one language. So if you want to do English and you want to do Italian, or you want to do German or something, you can. So you can really change this to make it more personable and localize it for the use of in your area. So that is one tool that you can do there. Below here we have the validation message. So the validation basically notifies people who's taking your survey to that this question is required to be answered. So there's no way they can get around a question, and you can change this message as needed. And then of course below here we have the interactive survey tool. Interactive mode just allows them to click on a question and moves them forward quicker. But if not, what they would do is you would click and then click on the answer, and then they would click on continue. So save your changes below, and it'll update all of your display options for you. And then you can do a preview. And when you get really, really good and you know exactly how to build surveys, you can actually review everything through the global options. So this will look at your survey overall, and you'll be able to review, what's in it, what's included, what question codes, and you will be able to make changes as well through this section. Some other things that you can also do is go under survey control here, and you'll see that we have security options. So if you are interested in doing a survey but you want to password protect it or require people to add a email and password or participant ID, you can have it linked to one of these options here. Below that would be our finish options, which is another way to refine the thank you page. So what you'll see here is options to go over the thank you page with a link, which is the standard, or if you would like to have it redirect to Adecco or anything, you can have it automatically redirect after they're taking the survey. You can just have the option to close the window. You can have a spotlight report, which matches their answers compared to other people who've taken your survey. And you can have options to forward to a friend, review, or print. And then if you're working with a panel, if you guys ever do work with a panel, you can integrate with one of the many that we have below. And here, the thank you page with the link is one of the options. And what you can do is you can, specify where you want it to go. So I have mine going back to survey analytics, and then the link text is thank you for completing the survey. But I can change this to anything I want. So I can do thank you for taking the survey. If I can spell, and then I can say, yeah. So if I want to say Amazon coupon or something. Okay, so I'll save that. And so if I were to do a preview of this entire survey, I just go to the top right hand and click on preview. And what I'm doing here is just previewing what my survey is looking like. It's just very basic with one question. And then it's going to take me to my thank you page. So this is the thank you page with the link. And then click here for a coupon, and it should direct me right over to Amazon. So that's pretty cool. Some other things you can also do under survey control is you can enable a thank you email. So anybody who has taken your survey, you want to give them a thank you note and say thank you so much, we'll do a follow-up, blah blah blah. You can, and you can change the settings and update your email message here. And then you can also enable an admin confirmation email. Should say confirmation, not conferration. And what this does, it will notify whoever is the admin who sent out the survey that a survey has been completed. So you can update them. Right now I have it disabled. And then also, if you are interested in tracking anybody who's answered a survey in a very answered their survey in a very specific way, you can set up an action alert. Action alerts are really good to track, customer service, low scores or anything like that, or if you want to be notified of anybody who's from a particular department or something you need to follow up immediately. This is a great way to track that. So you can just click on that and set up an action alert based off of the criteria that you want to set up. So in this case, I just want to track people who do monthly surveys, and then the response from the survey, or you can pull from the custom variables, which are variables that you would load in your email list. And right now I'm just pulling it from my question, and I'm just interested in those who are monthly. And you can do equals, or you can do greater than, less than, etc. And if you want, you can also highlight more than one if you need to. But in this case, I'm just going to pick one. And you can build on and add more questions or anything like that. So click on delete and click on finish and continue. So this is what I'm tracking, and then you give it an action and tell it, say who it's from, the email, and you also have options to add the responses in the survey for them to review, and then you can just save as. So anytime someone matches this criteria, you'll automatically get an email anytime it shows up. So whether or not you're going to use this over at Adecco, I'm not sure, but it's a good thing to know about. And then also under survey options here, this is another place you can view your image or media library. So here again, that's another place. And then last but not least, underneath here is just Salesforce integration. So if you're working with Salesforce as part of your database, you can integrate with it automatically with the username and password, verify the connection, and then you can map the answers from Survey Analytics over to Question Pro. So I'm going to show you a couple of very specific things that you can do with a survey. The first one we're going to look at is what we call logic, which is how to build an intellectual survey. And what that does, it allows your survey to think for you. And in doing so, you'll be able to branch people out who don't qualify or they don't fit a certain section. And then you can also be very specific in terms of the type of questions you want to ask certain segments in your survey. So I've gone ahead and built a study ahead of time. I've got a food study here with an intro, and then I've added some questions. And for this particular study, I'm targeting mainly women who've purchased and consumed chocolate in the past month or so. And so anyone who doesn't qualify, I would be terminating from their survey. So here's some examples of open-ended questions and comment boxes and so on and so forth. So the first thing I want to do here is to apply logic to this. So I'm terminating the males out of the survey. And to do so, you want to click on Add and Update Logic. So I'm going to open that up. And then click on the branching is the one that we're going to do. For males, because I don't need them for the survey, you have the option to terminate them from the survey here. And then also for females, I just want to have them branch to the next question, which is what food items that they purchased. You'll see here that there's some piping text optional. Piping basically takes an answer from a previous survey and makes it a part of a question in the next survey. So this particular case, I do not have that, so I'm leaving it blank. And then also you can include some custom variables. Again, custom variables is going to be from a list of emails that you can load in, and it can include information like city, state, region, country, or zip code, or anything like that. And you can add that in there, and you can specify, who goes where based off of those custom variables. And on below, they have a default destination. Since branching is applied to both of these answers, we're keeping branching as none at this time. And click on Update Branching Information, and then it has been updated, and then you can close it out. So to do a quick preview, what we want to do is make sure that the men have been terminated out of our survey. So they shouldn't be, so let's make sure that this opens. So males should be terminated, so it has been. And then the females will be moved to the following question. So you see that, and it should move me to the next question. The next bit of logic that we're going to do is a little bit more complex. So Here we have, which food items have you purchased and consumed in the past month? Check all that apply. So to the respondent, they're not going to be able to see that we've applied logic and that, anyone who hasn't selected chocolate are going to be terminated. So to make that happen, we just want to open this up again and then click on branching skip logic again. So here we don't really care whether or not they have selected coffee, tea, ice cream, or cake, so therefore no branching will be applied. And for anyone who has selected chocolates, then we are branching them to the next question. And again, we're keeping piping text optional open because I'm not going to use chocolates in the next question. And I do not have any custom variables, so I'm going to keep that blank. And then anything that says none of the above, I'm terminating from the survey. And then I'm going to set the default destination. So here, this is going to capture anybody who did not select chocolate as one of the options. If they selected coffee, tea, ice cream, or cake, but no chocolate, then I can capture them and have them go to terminate survey, and then they don't qualify. So I'll update this, and we'll do a check and make sure that it's been applied. So again, in previewing this is what the respondent is going to see. They're not going to see anything that you've applied to your survey. So if they select coffee, tea, ice cream, or cake, we should have them terminated, which this will. And then if you want to have them select chocolates, they should, oops, actually, let me go back to preview. If it's chocolates only, or chocolate and tea, then they should move on to our second question type. So it looks like it does work, so that's great. So some other logic options that we have available, you'll see, is besides branching and skip logic, we also have compound or delayed branching, and I have an example of that. And then you can also do extractions, which allows you to pull answers from a previous list of answers and then move them to a next question. You can also do show or hide question logic, or show or hide answers, and also do randomization. So there's a lot of different options you can do. So when you're getting started, spend some time and definitely learn how to use the logic tools, because it's going to, in the end, help save a lot of time and energy in terms of being able to have the computer comprehend what you need from your survey. So definitely spend some time there. And then other things you can also do is you can also apply some quotas. So here I have a quota control um, set up for one of the questions, and then also have the validation required for the contact info. I'm going to do one more example in terms of doing the compound branching, because that is also one of the more complex logic or intellectual tools that we have. So bear with me here. So what I have here is an example of a survey that I've put together. So the specs I have here is households of 60,000 or more who purchase chocolate items at least 2 to 3 times a month, and also purchase items online at least 2 to 3 times a month. And only for those who fit this spec, I want to ask them the opinion, if they're open to buying chocolates online from a online chocolate shop. So in doing so, I'm building some standard questions, such as an income question here. The next question I have is the chocolate consumption question, and then I also am gauging their savviness for online shopping. And then here is my question for those who qualify in that range. And if they don't qualify, then they're going to skip this completely. So to do so, you want to go to the question before this. So beforehand, click on Add and Update Logic to the question before. And then click on Compound Delayed Branching Options. And what this does here is, opening this up, what you would do is you would add a logic criteria. So I have logic criteria here, so I'll just do a quick test one. And you can pull it from responses from your survey again, or custom variables. Click on Next here. And then also you can choose what questions you want it from. So say for instance you want it from age, and then you can do equals, greater than, or less than. So if I want to do greater than 19 to 21, and you can copy this over again, and then add additional, you can, and then just click on Finish, and this will be one of your criteria. Keep in mind you can only add one logic criteria. The one I did build was high income online purchasers, so this one again is 60K here plus 2 to 3 times a month on chocolate and 2 to 3 times purchasing items. So if that matches, I want them to answer this question. Oops, it looks like we have some more people logging in. That's great. And just to let you guys know, I am recording this, so I'll be able to save and send this to you guys. And then the next thing you can do is specify here what you want to do. So if it doesn't fit this, then you can have it moved to something else. So right now I'm just having anyone who doesn't fit that profile just go to the age question and add an update logic, and then close this as well. So just click on Close. And then, so that's pretty much how you do that. We can do a quick preview of how this looks like. So I'm just going to start here with and then just to make sure that the logic has been applied properly, I'm just going to pretend I'm a high income person that buys a lot of chocolate and also buys a lot of things online. So click on Continue. So it should take me to that question, whether or not I would be one of those people that would like to be purchasing from an online store. So I'm going to say yes, very likely. And then it'll move me on to other questions in the survey. So that is just a very quick update and just a demonstration of how you can use some of the tools that we have with the logic and really just specify, certain questions for certain segments in your study. So that's a very powerful thing to really consider. It does take a little bit of time to get used to, so spend some time and really work with it. And again, I'll be more than happy to help you with that as you get used to it. So the next thing we're going to look at here is some survey deployment options. So how do you send your surveys? Um, so the options we have include just copy and pasting a link on a website, or you can send an email list out by clicking on this one. You can also do a pop-up on a website if you like. So this is just what the email invitation looks like initially. And then if it's a very similar one, and you have a list, you can upload a list that you have. And then you can click on change this, and then also add some other things. So if you want to add a first name and also a last name, you can. It's like a mail merge. You can include information and then send it out. I'm just going to send out one just to myself. And then anytime you send out an email, you'll be prompted automatically whether or not you want to continue with the data that you have in your survey. So keep the data as is, or if you want to delete and start from scratch, or if you want to cancel it. So if I just want to keep what I have, I'll just continue. So that means that you can test it and continually test it over and over before you send it out, as long as you delete it and then proceed. So I'm going to click on that for now. Then anytime you send something else, you'll get a email delivery list, and then a batch ID, what time it was sent, to whom it was sent to, and so on and so forth. And you can also click on sent items to get an update whether or not it's been sent. So you see that it has been successfully sent. And then under here you'll also be able to send a reminder email to those who are taking your survey or haven't taken it. So going back to send options here, you'll also see that besides doing just a regular email, you can do a pop-up on a website. So if you're interested, you can just copy and paste this pop-up survey. You can also make edits below, so by clicking on pop-up settings and making changes in terms of the invitation, title, etc. You can also do a feedback tab and change this. So instead of having a pop-up, because those are annoying to some people, you can have a feedback tab, and the feedback tab will open up a separate survey for you to take. So here's some other options. So of course, click on Save Pop-up Settings to continue. And then the other send survey options we have here below would be just connecting to Facebook and or Twitter. This is just a unique way to access a very interesting crowd that loves to give opinions on things. So you can connect it directly to your Facebook. So if I were to open this up, it'll open up my Facebook and it'll connect it to my Facebook, and so I will actually go ahead and post it directly onto, what's my status update. So I'm going to close that. And then Twitter, same thing there as well. Other things you can do under Send Survey is to manage your invitations. So this is the survey template that I had earlier that you saw. You can do a quick preview in terms of what this looks like. So it should open up here. And then this is what they're going to see in their email. Close that. And then you can change the mail settings, so it automatically says that it's coming from you, whoever the administrator is, but you can also make changes and change that to somebody else. And then you can change the survey link. Instead of saying start survey, you can say, click here to begin, or something like that. And you can also create new invitations by clicking on this and then opening up your own template and making edits as needed. The next thing you'd want to look at here is to manage and edit your email list. And from here, what you can do is you can create a new email list or upload an existing one. So to create a new email list, you can just click on this and then choose what code you want to give it, or whether or not it's a global or survey specific list, and then create a new list. Let's see here, it's waiting for me. And what we have here is one email per line, or you can also customize it. So if you want to have it um, do one email per line and then also add additional variables, you can click on custom variables like that. And then you can also upload your CSV file. So however you're uploading your file, you want to load it up as needed. Click on Browse. I want to see if I have something I can upload. See if I have a list. I don't think I do. Or maybe I do. I don't know. let's see what I have. So I'm just going to upload it. And basically this will capture not just the emails that I have, but also the information about those people in the survey. So this should be working here. So I don't have much information. And what I can do is I can go in and also update this info. So click on finish. So it didn't look like it captured, but you know what you can do is you can go in and you can edit each active one if you need to, and change the custom variables. So that's pretty much how you would add a list, and you can keep adding it to over and over. And any kind of list that you have and you keep sending it, you can review who's active. You can also see who's unsubscribed from a list. So if you use the list over and over, anyone who's unsubscribed will be able to um, never be emailed again. So that's one of the good things about that. And then anyone who's pending verification, that means we're verifying if it's even an valid email, so they haven't gotten anything. And then any bounced or duplicates are notified, and then you can remove them from your list. And again, you can also add more in the future by using this tool over and over. Some other things you can do is if you want to use your own email and send out emails, you can. If you have like a Microsoft Exchange, we do have options to do that. Or if you have a Google account, you can send emails via Google as well. So you don't have to use this list if you don't want to. However, it's always good to use it just in case, and it's an option that you have. So the last thing we're going to look at here is just some reports that we have. And what that means, what that will allow you to see is the standard reports here. This is just an overall, it's kind of large. And then we break it down by real-time summary. So what you'll see here is just a real-time summary of all of the question types, and we break it down. For each question type, we give you a mean, confidence interval, standard deviation, etc. So it's pretty robust as it is, so you don't have to worry about calculating it on your own. And so this is just the overall. And then you can click on this link and share it. You can share it on Facebook or Twitter or email it, like so on and so forth. And then you can also do more drill down to specific clients. So if you're a respondent, you can look at some completed surveys by clicking on the participant statistics and the completed. And you can look at particular response IDs. And this will just look at their answers alone, and you can just review from here. So just keep going, and this is how they answered certain questions. And you can also see open-ended text here, if there are any. So these are some of my open-ended texts. And then, of course, everybody's favorite tool is the export data. So if you want to do a raw data export from an overall list, you can here, either in a CSV or Excel. If you don't want to include raw data, you can take that out and then just include the analytics only if you prefer. And then you can include answer values or display codes instead of text. And then you can also do additional data filters by time, as well as filter results by completed or not completed. And then you can click download and download a CSV or Excel file. You'll also be able to do that with charts and analytics. So you can you can get some charts on a PowerPoint, Word, or Excel doc, and then you can select a template to use. Right now we're working on being able to upload your own template to use, but right now we don't have that. But we plan to have that pretty soon. And then you can download it. And then if you do a lot of analysis in SPSS, you can use this SPSS export, and you can download and add data filters as needed as well. So this is all really good information, but a lot of people say, well, how do I look at sample just particular segments? What can I do? There's two options that you can do here, and we have those in our online tools. So the first tool that I would recommend looking at, we have the crosstabs. You can do a crosstab of particular questions in your survey. First of so that can be set up pretty quickly. And then the next one that, if you want to look at some overall segments, and they're pretty large segments, and it's going to be like more than 8 or 10 of them, doing a banner or a pivot table would be ideal. So, say for instance, I want to do one um, on income, and then I want to add a secondary pivot question based on how often they purchase chocolates, and then I can filter the results based on completed, and then you can choose to add charts and tables, and then you can create a banner table so you can review. And you can also take the banners based off of the custom variables that you load as well. So this is a great way to look at overall segmentations and everything. And I know that Vivek had talked to Helena about doing some hierarchical segmentation. So this is where you would do. We're going to enhance it a little bit more pretty shortly, actually, probably in a week or so. So we're going to make some more changes with the banner table coming up here pretty soon. So that's pretty exciting. So that's taking a little while. But if you want, okay, so I can click on that. It should actually download something for me to review. So it looks like I do have something. So let me open this. So this is what I have so far based off of the sample. Oops, it looks like it captured some info, but not quite a lot. So I didn't really complete the survey in full, so maybe some of the questions are not filled in. So some of them are, so you'll see below. So most of the questions I look like I answer after my compound branching question. So you'll see the charts and the data. So that would really help a lot when you're looking at large segmentation. So we'll close that. Oops, I'm going to close that. And some other things you can do if you want to look at very particular segmentation and you just want to really drill down and get to know your sample and get real intimate with it. We have the data segmentation tool. So what you can do here is, if you want, you can filter out your sample. So say for instance I have one that's 60K plus, or want to do it by age, and I will look at particular income levels or so on and so forth. What you can do here is you can filter out a report very specific to that. So you can look at a summary report of 60K plus, a text report, download Excel, Word, PowerPoint, etc. And for this one, you'll just be able to look at a real-time summary, grab a link based off of that particular segmentation. And you can really build on it if you like, and just kind of see what you have available. So filtering the data, again, you'd have to select and add a logic criteria just like before. And then you can choose a custom variable that you've uploaded, or choose by time, or add the time later. So it's very similar to how we showed you earlier. So again, this is a great tool, if you really want to get deep in within a certain segment. But if you want to look at overall segmentation, the banner table really does a good job in showing you the number, percentage, or either in frequency or percentage, and then it also gives you some charts and tables to review as well. So other options we have in reporting, you can do report sharing options. These are permalinks, so if you share these links and give it a password, you can share this and they can access the real-time report at any time. And then you can also customize a report. So if you want to customize a report based off of questions in your survey, you can do that as well. So that's just a real brief overview. And other things you can do is under data management, you can schedule a report to be sent to you every week if you'd like. So I have one that's sent out to me. It's a trend report every week you can run. And then you can also check out your download center. So anytime you download any information from Survey Analytics, we'll keep a copy of it in your download center. So if you have misplaced it, or if you are like me and have chopped your data up so much to the point where you don't know where you started from, you can always go back and start fresh by downloading another copy. So I've got tons in here. I probably should erase some of it soon. But we don't delete it or have a timeline in which requires you to get rid of it, so that will always be in there for you. Some other things we have besides just the standard reporting tools is under integration, you'll see we can do a lot of things like we can do web analytics. And what that does is you can connect your Google Analytics account or Omniture Site Catalyst account to Survey Analytics and be able to track how they're taking your survey. They'll track the number of clicks, how they move their mouse, how long they answer certain questions, and that kind of stuff. But you need to have an account with Google Analytics or Omniture Site Catalyst to make that work. You can also import data. So if you have an existing survey and you want to import data into it, you can view how that can work, and you can upload the data and use the reports to make reviews. But you have to have a survey on the front end so the reports make sense. And then for those who are interested in translating your own survey, or if you want to pay someone, we do have a translation service. We use Language Intelligence, which is headquartered out of New York and Washington, D.C. And you can add a language of any kind. So if you are looking to do some work in a different country, if you don't have someone who's already doing this for you, you can pick one and then add a language version. So if I did German, and then you can get a quote. And basically, these people will go in and they'll translate your survey for you and then have it ready in Survey Analytics for you. So that's a really great tool, and you can accept or decline and then continue. And then other tools we have are some analytics. So here's a way to access the banner tables once again. And then you can also include weighting and balancing on each question type. You can't do it by groups, it's just by question right now. And then you can also do some other things like text analytics. We can do tag clouds. So basically a tag cloud will give you a chance to review what your open-ended comments look like. So I had an open-ended content said, why would you not consider purchasing chocolates online? And this is some of the questions I have, or some of the major words that have been filtered out. And you can share this link here with people. And basically what the tag cloud does is that it marks very specific words that you can see, and they're just one word. So chocolate or want, they want it now. And if you don't want certain words in there, like the word wait is in there, instant or need or prefer. If you want to add words like if I want to take away the word want, I can update my stop word list. And then what this will do is we'll take that away from the cloud. So the word want is no longer there, or Maybe I didn't spell it right. So you can update that anytime. You can add as many stop words as you like, so you can get rid of, and the and all that kind of stuff. So other things we have is the text analysis. So if you want to do text analysis on certain words, so you can tag certain words that you like. And so you can tag it however you would like it, and then set up a chart. So I'll set that up for you there. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we do have some other tools like the conjoint analysis tool, and the MaxDiff, which actually is a we do have some information I can send you on that. Those are some really good tools that you can use to do a lot of trade-off studies. So if you're interested in doing like a trade-off analysis study, I can do some training on that as well. So that's pretty much the survey tools in a nutshell. I'm going to unmute everybody, so if you want to ask questions, um, this is the time to do so. So, does anybody have any questions right now?
Esther, thank you
Yes.
very much for the training. Just wanted to give a few um, information on the how we are doing the GSS nowadays, how we are using Question Pro today.
Mhm.
In terms of the right from the beginning, look and feel, we have an organization defined. Um, a survey already
Mhm.
in each of the accounts.
Okay.
So if you select organization defined for Adecco, for example, the Adecco units, they will see a totally customized look and feel of Adecco. The same thing for other brands that we have, DIS
Mhm.
or Agilon or whatever other brands from the group. So this is
Yeah.
something that if the teams want to include a new brand, which will happen, for example, in the US, now
Mhm.
we will be developing this organization and customized templates for usage, and not
Mhm.
only for usage on the GSS, on other country-specific projects as well.
Mhm.
Now we do have Salesforce.com, and this is something that maybe Esther, we will work a little bit more together on importing the data
Mhm.
directly from our surveys into Salesforce.com. This is something that I think can add quite a lot of value for us.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
Um, yeah, and let me see. In terms of the reporting
Mhm.
tool, I think this is something also that um, it's very interesting for us. I think the reporting tool has developed quite a lot. I was very happy with what I saw that you showed us today. Um, there are obviously some differences between what the teams will download directly from survey analytics after the field work, but
Mhm.
compared to what we will present at the end, because obviously there is some element of cleanup on the data. But I think today what we have on survey analytics is really good, and we need to make sure we learn how to use the segmentation and be able also to upload information to be able to segment the data.
Mhm. Okay, sounds great. So, what I can do for you is I can set up. I'll send a help file how to set up the Salesforce, so you can kind of play with that and get that going. And
Okay.
then also, I'll also send out how to add. If are you guys doing surveys in multi languages as well?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
I'll send how to set up multi-language surveys on your own, because I'm assuming you guys can translate your own surveys, or you guys do that a lot of that in-house. So I'll send that info, because I think it's pretty important for you guys to know how to change, not just the question itself, but also the commands in the survey. because if you don't do that, then the commands will default in English. So we need to make sure to make those change into the appropriate language. So that will be a really good
Yeah.
start. And was there anything else that you guys wanted to look at, or anything, or any other questions anyone else had from anybody?
No, actually.
Okay, great. So again, with Adecco, feel free to pass my email and phone number along. Probably, since it's 1 o'clock a.m. here, maybe I prefer an email. I'll probably talk to Vivek and see if maybe I can have some European coverage for Adecco during your time. So we'll have somebody that's available during your work hours. So I'm gonna
Mhm.
talk to him and see if I can get that set up for you. I think I have a guy that does a couple of my European accounts for me when I'm sleeping, and then he updates me of what's going on, so maybe he can take you guys on too. So I'll have to check to see if that's gonna be okay. But ideally, I think that would be helpful, especially getting you guys on board. And if you guys are
For sure,
interested.
that is very helpful during field time. We are going
Mhm.
to start the next wave very soon,
Mhm.
so it is really important to have some coverage here as well in Europe.
Okay, great. So I'll make a note here and see if I can include Amia to cover questions from you guys. So he should be available by phone and email at all times. So I'll just ask and see how his load is and if we can add him on. So that should be fine. So I think that's all we have for today. And if you
Oh,
guys.
sorry, I have just one last question. Sorry about
Oh,
that. I
sure,
forgot this
no
one.
problem.
Um, on the unsubscribed, you said that when people unsubscribe, we will not be able to send emails to them anymore. Is that
That
what you said?
that is correct. So if you keep using the same list over and over, you will never have to worry about um, sending a sending it to an unsubscribed person. But keep in mind that it's
Aha.
very,
Okay.
yeah, it's very specific to this list. So if you're,
Uh-huh.
it's right now you're not able to share lists among each other. They're just very specific to each account. So um, you may want to, if someone has a list, you may want to download it and then send it to someone else so they don't have to worry about the spam or someone else who's not in the list. But it doesn't initially capture that. But we are working on, actually, if you guys are interested, we do have a panel that's actually going to come out. I think, oh,
Yeah, I think it would be really helpful for us if we could have an integrated unsubscribe filter on the distribution, because what happens with us is that
mhm,
at each wave we upload a new list
mhm.
of distribution, and it would be good if Question Pro could already automatically filter the people who have unsubscribed.
Yes, I agree with that. And so I believe that we are working on a panel actually that's going to come out next week, I believe. This is just a real brief one right now, but basically what will happen is you can load the list inside a panel and then use it from here to upload and send out new surveys from there. And so you can use this for, unsubscribed as well. Sounds like it's
Okay.
getting pretty noisy. um, is someone making a phone call? I don't know. So, any other questions you guys had?
Not from my side, Esther.
Oh, okay, great. So if you guys have any other questions and or emails or whatever, feel free to email myself or email someone else. And I'm just gonna mute everybody right now. Just yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and mute everybody because it was kind of hard to hear. So, what you guys can do is you can go ahead and email me directly, or feel free to email Helena and she can compile a list of questions. I'll be happy to do some follow up in the future, and also make sure that if I don't hear from you guys, I'll always check in with the team and make sure everyone's doing well. But I do have a list that I'm going to follow through. So I will send an email earlier in the morning, my time, and take care of that all. So I believe we are all set to go. Yeah. So I wanted to thank everybody. Um,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
so
Thank
yeah,
you.
and you guys have a good rest of your day.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a
Bye.
lot.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.
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 Hello?